Dear students, welcome to second part of History 4th lesson Opposition to British Rule in Karnataka. In first part, you have already studied about four Anglo-Mysore wars. In this video, let us discuss about the achievements of Dondiya Wagh, end of Dondiya Wagh, rebellion of Kittur by brave Queen Channamma, Sangolli Rayanna, rebellion of Amarasulya and Puttabasappa. Let's begin. As you know, Tipu Sultan died in the year 1799. After his death, many rebellions and protests against the British took place in Karnataka. Especially after the death of Tipu Sultan in the year 1799, the very next year, the protest or the rebellion was undertaken by Dondiya Wagh. Dondiya Wagh fought against the British in the year 1800. These rebellions were armed rebellions and took place during the first part of 19th century. Many rebellions were taken place. Among them, the rebellion which was undertaken by Dondiya Wagh is considered as an important rebellion. Now let us discuss the life and achievements of Dondiya Wagh. Dondiya Wagh was born in a Maratha family of Channagiri. Dondiya was called as the Wagh. He was called as the Wagh. Wagh means the tiger. The meaning of the Wagh is tiger. He was called Wagh because of his bravery. He was famous for his bravery. That's why Dondiya was called Wagh. He started his career as a cavalry soldier in Hyder Ali's army and grew to the position of military general. Earlier, he was just a cavalry soldier. Later, he was promoted as military general. After this, he built his own private army and fought along with Tipu Sultan. He served under Hyder Ali and also served under Tipu Sultan. But due to differences with Tipu Sultan, Dondiya Wagh was imprisoned. Tipu Sultan imprisoned Dondiya Wagh, but later the British released him from the prison after the death of Tipu Sultan in the year 1799. Dondiya Wagh built a small army and started his operations. He organized the army with the unhappy soldiers of Tipu's army and feudatory rulers who had lost power. He captured Bidanuru, Shivamogga forts and made an unsuccessful attempt to capture Chitradurga fort. He was successful in capturing Bidanuru Shivamogga fort, but he was unsuccessful in capturing Chitradurga fort, and Lord Wellesley tried to check this rebellion. During that time, Governor General was Lord Wellesley. Lord Wellesley tried to check this rebellion of Dondiya Wagh. An attack was organized on Shivamogga, Honnali, Harihara and other places under the control of Dondiya Wagh. Dondiya lost his base. After the capture of Shikaripura, Dondiya ran away towards Gutti, which was under the control of Nizam of Hyderabad. When Nizam of Hyderabad and his army attacked Gutti, Dondiya had to run towards the regions of Maratha. The Maratha army attacked him and captured most of his horses, camels, and also arms. In spite of these, he continued his warfare. Who? Dondiya Wagh. In spite of all these hindrances, he continued his warfare. But later, many unhappy Palegars encouraged Dondiavag. The French at the Mahi of Malabar also extended their support to Dondiavag against the British. The British army followed him the vast area that included Harihara, Chitradurga, Shikaripura, Savanuru, Ranibennuru, Kitturu, and Londa. The British, who took over the Shirahatti, killed many followers of Dondiavag. In this way, we can say that Dondiavag fought bravely against the British. But unfortunately, there was a end of Dondiavag. Let us see end of Dondiavag. During that time, the Governor General of the British was Lord Wellesley. Lord Wellesley decided to end the adventures of Dondiavag. To end Dondiavag, the British requested the help of local rulers. Dondia had recaptured Shikaripura fort and he was scattered by the British army again. The British tried to defeat the army of Dondia, which used to move in the area between Tungabhadra and Malaprabha. They attacked him from all the directions. Who? The British army attacked Dondiavag in all the direction. He was followed by them when he left Raichuru. When he was caught in between Maratha army and Nizam army, the British attacked him near Yelaparavi and killed him at Konagal. British killed Dondiavag at Konagal. With the death of Dondiavag, the followers of Dondiavag scattered. Naturally, his followers scattered because of the death of their leader. Finally, the British captured a large cache of arms and ammunitions of Dondiavag. In this way, another revolt or the rebellion of Karnataka came to an end. So, you must remember the achievements of Dondiavag and his death. Another rebellion in Karnataka was undertaken by brave Queen Channamma. Now let us discuss rebellion of Kittur under the leadership of Kittur Rani Channamma. She fought against the British in the year 1824. Dondiavag fought against the British in the year 1800. Rani Channamma fought against the British in the year 1824. Here, the British brought in many changes in the administration after defeating the Marathas, Tippu, and Hyder Ali. They were successful in defeating the Marathas in the Anglo-Maratha War. They defeated Hyder Ali and Tippu Sultan in the Anglo-Mysore War. After these wars, they brought many changes, especially in the field of administration. Among them, one change or one reform in the field of administration was the doctrine of lapse. Denying the right of adopted children over the throne was one of such rules. Doctrine of lapse was one of such rule. It was introduced by Lord Dalhousie. The rebellion led by Channamma, the Queen of Kittur, opposing this law is a prominent one. Here we must remember Kittur Rani Channamma revolted against the British by opposing this doctrine of lapse, which was introduced by Lord Dalhousie. You have heard about Kitturu. Where is Kitturu? Yes, Kitturu lies between Dharwad and Belgaum. This Kittur was ruled by Mallasarja. After the death of Mallasarja, Channamma, the queen of Mallasarja, took active interest in the administrative matters. Naturally, she had to take the administration of Kittur after the death of Malla Sarja. After the death of Malla Sarja, his son Shivalinga Rudra Sarja came to power. Shivalinga Rudra Sarja became the king of Kittur after the death of Malla Sarja. But he was not able to continue his administration. He was not able to give proper administration. Why? Due to his failing health. That's why Chennamma had to take care of day-to-day administration. Why did Chennamma take the care of administration? Because of the failing health of Shivalinga Rudra Sarja. Shivalinga Rudra Sarja had good relationship with the British. He supported the British during the Maratha War. That's why the British entered an agreement with Kittur and collected payment from him. The British entered an agreement with Kittur and collected payment from him. This agreement was entered during the time of Thomas Munro. But after the death of Shivalinga Rudra Sarja, Chennamma adopted a boy named Shivalingappa and started ruling Kittur as a queen regent. Here you must remember 4 important personalities: Malla Sarja, Shivalinga Rudra Sarja, Chennamma and Shivalingappa. Who was Shivalinga Rudra Sarja? Shivalinga Rudra Sarja was the son of Malla Sarja. Who was Shivalingappa? Shivalingappa was the adopted son of Kittur Rani Chennamma. When she adopted a boy, during that time, the collector and political agent of the British in Dharwad was Thackeray. Thackeray was the collector and political agent of the British in Dharwad. Naturally, he sent a report to the governor of Bombay and attempted to take over Kittur kingdom under the doctrine of lapse. As per the doctrine of lapse policy, no kings were allowed to adopt a child. That's why Thackeray attempted to take over the treasury and fort under his control. This naturally enraged Kittur Rani Chennamma got angry. She considered war was inevitable. She prepared for the war. Same time, British also prepared themselves for the war. In the battle, Thackeray, who was Thackeray, the collector and political agent of the British in Dharwad, Thackeray was shot dead. Many British were taken as the prisoners of the war. Again, the British attacked Kittur under the leadership of Colonel Deacon. In the beginning, Chennamma defeated the British. Thackeray was shot dead. Later, Kittur was again attacked by the British under the leadership of Colonel Deacon. The army fought the battle bravely. Chennamma attempted to flee from the battlefield. The army of whom? The army of Chennamma fought bravely against the British. Chennamma faced a setback. That's why she tried to escape from the battlefield, but she was captured by the British army. Chennamma and others were imprisoned at Bailahongal fort. Queen Chennamma passed away in the prison. She was imprisoned in a place called Bailahongal and she passed away in the prison. These are all about the rebellion of Kittur under the leadership of brave Queen Chennamma. Due to all these reasons or due to all these achievements, we can say that Kittur Rani Chennamma was a brave queen. Now let us discuss about the achievements of Sangolli Rayanna. The name of Sangolli Rayanna has remained famous along with the name of Rani Chennamma. When we talk about Rani Chennamma, along with this name, we remember Sangolli Rayanna because Rayanna was a brave soldier. He fought for the independence of Kittur and he felt it was his duty to liberate his Kittur, liberate his motherland. He fought against the British and was imprisoned along with her. Along with her means along with Kittur Rani Chennamma, but later he was released by the British. Earlier he was imprisoned along with Chennamma, later he was released by the British. There are many oral histories about Rayanna. He developed a sense of nationalism and went on organizing an army. He organized secret meetings at sensitive places. He aimed at looting the treasury and taluk offices of the British. He had an army of 500 men. All these were the preparations made by him to fight against the British. He had an army of 500 men. He became furious with the villages who were assisting the British army, was very angry on such villages who supported the British army. The British thought that Rayanna was being instigated by Rani Chennamma. That's why they shifted Chennamma to Kusugal prison from Bailahongala. Earlier, Rani Chennamma was arrested in prison called Bailahongala. Later, she was shifted from Bailahongala to Kusugal because the British thought that Sangolli Rayanna was being instigated by Rani Chennamma. He was a brave soldier. He fought for the independence of Kittur, and Sangolli Rayanna felt it was his duty to liberate his motherland. That's why the British devised a cunning strategy to capture Rayanna. They encouraged Desais who were opposing Rani Chennamma. Some Desais were the opponents of Rani Chennamma. That's why the British encouraged Desais who were opposing Rani Chennamma. An Amaldar named Krishnaraya joined hand with them. Here, Amaldar was the opponent of Rani Chennamma. He supported the British. In this way, Sangolli Rayanna was captured by the British cunningly and brought down to Dharwad. Many of his soldiers, many of his supporters surrendered after his arrest. After the arrest of Sangolli Rayanna, many of his soldiers, many of his supporters arrested. He was declared as an offender and was hanged to death. Finally, Sangolli Rayanna was hanged. Many ballads have kept the life and bravery of Rayanna alive even today. These are all about the role of Sangolli Rayanna in the freedom movement of Kitturu. In exam, we may expect question like this. Explain the method adopted by Rayanna to fight against the British. Then you have to write all these important points. Let's move to another important topic of this lesson, that is rebellion of Amarasulya. The rebellion of Amarasulya was basically a farmers' rebellion. This rebellion needs to be understood in the backdrop of political situations prevalent in coastal Karnataka and Kodagu regions during 1835 to 37. Before we are studying about the rebellion of Amarasulya, we have to study certain political situation that existed in coastal Karnataka and even Kodagu. Here, the British dethroned the rulers of Kodagu Chikkaveera Rajendra. Chikkaveera Rajendra was the ruler of Haleri dynasty. He was dethroned by the British in the year 1834. Later, he was transported to Vellore through Bangalore and later to Kashi. This incident created political instability in Kodagu. These are all about the political situations that prevailed in Kodagu during 1835 to 37. One such incident was the dethrone of Chikkadeva Rajendra by the British. Swami Aparampara, Kalyana Swami and Puttabasappa, they organized a rebellion against this. Who? Swami Aparampara, Kalyan Swami, Puttabasappa opposed this. Opposed this incident means the British dethroned the rulers of Kodagu, Chikkavira Rajendra of Haleri dynasty, which was opposed by Aparampara, Swami Aparampara, Kalyan Swami and Puttabasappa. All the three declared that they were part of the Haleri dynasty that ruled Kodagu. Swami Aparampara assumed the leadership of the rebellion. Here, Swami Aparampara, one of the leader, took the leadership and he was captured in 1834, shifted to Bangalore by the British. Similarly, Kalyana Swami was captured in 1837 and placed in Mysore prison. Here, dear students, you must remember the revolt which was started by Swami Aparampara, Kalyan Swami and Puttabasappa. All these three revolted against the British. Swami Aparampara was captured by the British in 1834 and he was shifted to Bangalore. One more leader, Kalyan Swami, was captured in the year 1837, placed in Mysore prison. Now, one more leader left. The name of the leader was Puttabasappa. Now let us discuss the achievements of Puttabasappa. The people of Lower Kodagu continued the rebellion after the capture of Kalyan Swami. Kalyan Swami was arrested by the British and was captured by the British in the year 1837 and placed in Mysore prison. After this, the people of Kodagu, that is Lower Kodagu, continued the rebellion. After this incident, Sulya, Bellare, Puttur, the major places of Kannada region were part of Amara Sulya during that time. It is interesting to note that farmer named Puttabasappa as Kalyana Swami. Puttabasappa became Kalyan Swami. This Puttabasappa later presented himself as Swami Aparampara. Swami Aparampara and Kalyan Swami were arrested by the British. Later, in the name of these two leaders, Puttabasappa revolted against the British. This also notes the fluid nature of the rebellion. Puttabasappa took over the leadership of the rebellion. In this way, Puttabasappa became the leader of rebellion of Amarasulya. He was the prominent leader of Amarasulya rebellion. He started his rebellion in hilly region. He organized the rebels and calmed down the people. He declared that tax on tobacco and salt will be withdrawn. British imposed taxes on tobacco and salt. Puttabasappa declared that the taxes which levied on tobacco and salt will be withdrawn by him if the rebel government assumes power. If he comes to power, he would withdraw the tax which was levied on tobacco and salt. The rich farmers landowners, and local chieftains were assured of this move. The capture of government office in Bellare was the first move in this rebellion. Puttabasappa killed an Amaldar who was known for his brutality, further increased the popularity of Puttabasappa. Puttabasappa took the leadership. He became very famous, especially when he killed an Amaldar. This Amaldar was known for his brutality. This incident increased the popularity of Puttabasappa. And also, this incident gained more support for the rebellion, and the rebellion became more famous. The rebels marched towards Mangalore to capture it. The British were engaged in fortifying their fort in Mangalore. The rebels marched towards Mangalore through Panemangalore and Bantwal. They looted the treasury and prison of Bantwal. The British sought the army of Talacheri, Kannuru, Bombay to quell this uprising. That means they took the support of Talacheri, Kannuru and Bombay to stop this uprising, to stop this rebellion. On hearing this development, Puttabasappa and his associated fled towards Sulya. Puttabasappa and his followers came to know that the British, with the help of Talacheri, Kannur and Bombay, would defeat them. That's why they fled towards Sulya. The British captured them with the help of people in Kodagu. Puttabasappa, not only Puttabasappa here, along with his supporters, he had certain supporters like Lakshmappa, Bangarasa, Kedambadi Ramayya Gowda, Guddemane Appayya. These were the supporters of Puttabasappa. They were hanged till death. They were hanged by the British. Puttabasappa, Lakshmappa, Bangarasa, Kedambadi Ramayya Gowda and Guddemane Appayya were hanged till death. Though the rebellion failed, it has an important place in the history of rebellions against the British. Though the rebellion of Amarasulya failed, it has an important place in the history of rebellions against the British. Dear students, in today's session, you have studied about Dondiya, Kittur Rani Chennamma, Sangolli Rayanna and rebellion of Amarasulya. In the next video, we shall discuss the rebellion of Surapura, the achievements of Venkatappa Nayaka, the rebellion of Veerappa of Koppal, and rebellion of Bedas of Halagali. Thank you.